It doesn't start with walls. It starts with a dream. A quiet one, the kind that lingers when the sun dips low and the horizon glows gold. Out here, far from the restless hum of city streets, the air feels different, lighter, calmer. And in that stillness, a question rises. What if home could feel like this? Not just a place to sleep or eat or store away the pieces of your life, but a space that breathes with you. A space that feels alive. Out where open skies stretch for miles and the ground feels endless beneath your feet. Something new is taking shape. It's not quite what it used to be. Once, these wide steel frames and pitched roofs held only tractors, hay, and echoes of work. They were barns, nothing more. Simple, rugged, unchanging. But now they've become something else entirely, something that captures the heart before the mind even catches up. Did you know that 70% of homeowners feel their space doesn't reflect their style? Don't be part of that statistic. Subscribe and start designing a home that truly feels yours. This isn't just a Barndominium, it's a reinvention of what it means to call somewhere home. Part farmhouse, grounded and warm. Part architectural masterpiece, bold and unexpected. Together, those two halves create something almost untouchable, a harmony between rugged and refined, past and future. And yet, there's something more stirring beneath it all. Because this isn't just a trend, it isn't just design for design's sake. It's a quiet rebellion, a shift in how we choose to live. It whispers to anyone who's ever felt trapped by walls too tight, by spaces that didn't feel like their own. It calls to the dreamers, the seekers, the ones who want a home that feels as limitless as the land it stands on. So when we say it doesn't start with walls, we mean it. It starts with possibility, with an idea that a home can be more than a structure, that it can be a story waiting to unfold, one chapter at a time. And as the light fades and the first stars appear in the deepening sky, the silhouette of something extraordinary begins to emerge. Not just another house, not just another barn, but a revolution in how we live, breathe, and belong. Because out here, where the world feels wide open, a barndominium isn't just built, it's born. For decades, barns stood as monuments to labor, unmoving, unchanging, steadfast against the weather and the years. They were built for purpose, not for beauty. Walls of timber and steel, roofs pitched against the wind, floors echoing with the weight of work. There was something honest about them, rugged, raw, untouched by the distractions of time. They weren't designed to impress, they were designed to endure. But now, those same bones breathe a different kind of life. Where once there were echoes of machinery and hay, there's now the hum of laughter, music, and warmth. The gabled roof still stretches high, but beneath it, light spills in where shadows once lived. Steel beams still hold strong, but now they frame spaces that feel alive, soft, and unexpectedly human. Sleek lines meet raw textures. Glass dances with wood. Metal softens beneath the glow of natural light. And suddenly, a space once meant for storage and toil transforms into something deeper, something that feels like a retreat for the soul. It is neither entirely rustic nor fully modern, but something more rare, a balance. A place where you can still feel the rugged strength of its roots, even as every surface and detail whispers refinement. A beautiful home is not a dream, it's an art, and you're the artist. Subscribe and start creating spaces that speak to the soul. And yet, there's a question lingering here. Why are these homes, these modern barndominiums, so magnetic? Why do people who never dreamed of living in the country suddenly find themselves drawn to them, imagining wide-open rooms and quiet mornings? The answer isn't just in their beauty, though that's undeniable. It's in the way they bend tradition without breaking it. They honor the history of the structures they rise from, the resilience, the openness, the connection to the land, while reshaping them into something fresh. They don't erase what came before, they evolve it. It's this duality, this tension between old and new, that captures something deep in us. Because in a world that feels more crowded, more rushed than ever, these homes stand apart. They feel both anchored and free, solid and yet full of light. They remind us that our homes don't just hold us, they reflect us. And just beyond this first impression, there's something else waiting. A deeper truth about what makes these spaces more than just homes. Something we'll uncover soon. Inside, the ordinary melts away. The moment you step through the threshold, something shifts. The ceilings soar higher than you expect. The air feels lighter, almost as if the walls themselves are designed to breathe. These aren't just rooms. They're expanses. Open, fluid, alive. It feels as though space itself is part of the design, as if emptiness isn't a void but a feature. Wood warms the soul here. Every beam, every panel, carries a softness that feels lived in, grounding. And yet, against it, metal stands quietly, strong, sleek, unyielding. It's not cold, it's steady, a reminder that this home is as enduring as it is inviting. Together they create a harmony, the rugged and the refined, coexisting as if they were always meant to. And then, there's the light. It doesn't just pour in, it moves, it sculpts, it shifts across the day, making every corner feel alive. Morning, light stretches long, warming the wooden floors. By afternoon, it glances off the steel, catching edges and casting shadows that turn the ordinary into something cinematic. Here, light is not just illumination. It's a design element all its own, ever-changing, ever-present. Transform your home, transform your life. Subscribe now, and let's create spaces you'll love forever. But these spaces, they're not just about aesthetics. They call to something deeper. For the restless dreamer who craves a horizon beyond glass towers. For the builder, the creator, who wants a space as flexible as their ambitions. For the soul who longs for a home, not boxed in by convention, but one as untamed as the land beneath it. These homes don't just house life. They invite you to live larger, freer, more connected to the world outside your walls. Yet, even as the textures, the space, and the light captivate, there's something else you begin to feel. A subtle hum beneath it all. Something you can't quite name. Because the magic here, it doesn't fully live in the architecture. Not in the steel or the wood, not in the windows or the vaulted ceilings. Those are only the frame. The real transformation, the thing that makes these barndominiums more than homes, is something less visible, something you can't measure or photograph. And that's where the true story begins, because the secret isn't in the walls at all. The real secret? It's not about the barn at all. Not the soaring ceilings, not the steel beams, not even the walls of glass that frame the horizon. Those are only the canvas. The truth is, the magic of a modern barndominium lives in something far less tangible, what it allows you to become. These spaces aren't fixed, rigid things. They flex, they adapt, they breathe with you. They are not simply places to live, they are places that evolve as your life unfolds. One year, the wide-open expanse is a studio, echoing with the hum of creation. Another year, it's a gathering space, filled with voices, music, and the warmth of shared meals. Over time, these walls hold more than furniture. They hold chapters of a life, stitched together in wood, metal, and light. And that's the quiet power of this design. It doesn't dictate who you are, it listens. It gives you room, literal and emotional, to expand, to grow, to change. A barndominium doesn't ask you to fit into it. It reshapes itself to fit you.